Hello everyone, this is Stellar Cameraman. After watching part 2 of episode 37, many people started to hate a C-Pen more, because besides what he did to people, in this episode he showed himself much worse and even gave the reason why he is like this. Despite the fact that the episode lasted about 7 minutes, most of it was a conversation scene, in which we found out who C-Pen is, and not only that, we will definitely talk about it today. In addition, in this episode, we made sure that Drill Titan is actually on the side of the Alliance, and now no one will manipulate him. At least it shouldn't be like that. In general, in the episode, there were a lot of not too ostentatious moments. It feels like Dom Studio is preparing us for something crazy, something that we won't be ready for. I'll tell you about it in more detail, because the theory is very cool. Also, we will understand what will happen with the Titans, because each of them was in a difficult situation, whether Drill and Speaker Titan, against this psychopath, which looks quite promising. All the most interesting you will know if you watch the end of this video. And of course, subscribe to the channel, and if you put a like, I think you and without me know it. The episode begins with the moment where Speaker flies directly to a Drill Titan. He says hello to him, but does not realize that he is still considered a traitor, because as we remember many episodes ago, he destroyed the base of a Clockman's, and in addition wanted to prevent the Alliance in the implementation of its mission. But he did it unknowingly because he was under the manipulation of the Alpha, which by the way, at the moment is no longer alive. Speaker was not aware that he was out of control, and now he was back in the ranks of the Alliance. That's why he flew right into him at the speed of light and started to kill him with lasers. But Drill did not stand like a tree and threw him back. In the meantime, Speaker released his speakers and surrounded Drill Titan and wanted to destroy him with weapons. But Camera Titan stopped him, and having received accurate information that he was good, saved his life, because the two of them would have been able to defeat Drill Titan. Despite the fact that Drill seems to be kind and is now on the side of the Alliance, something predicts me that it is not quite so, and maybe soon he will not be able to control himself again and will do something crazy in case something happens to Drill Woman. He will definitely get very angry and may lose control of himself because he has not lost his stupidity, although I hope for the opposite. And what about the rest of the Titans? So in them, nothing special so far. Specifically, Speaker has not received a huge change, or maybe that he did not show them to us. Maybe he can still do something, but we'll show it later, but more precisely during the hard fights. A little later, I will tell you in what exactly. Meanwhile, Speaker, as the leader, stood ahead of everyone and ridiculously shouted, "Allegedly, look, I'm the father." But in fact, the real father is now busy with more important things than the final battle because he is still, in the course of already some of the series, I've already lost count of which one, hold the dome of life and death. In fact, if you think about it, at this rate, Skibidi's chances of winning are increasing because their plan to keep a Clock Titan in one place is going swimmingly. If he doesn't get out of that position before a G-Man shows up, it will be very bad for the Alliance, and I don't think he'll be able to leave the dome anytime soon. We have already seen how TV Titan is doing in the exclusive drain. Almost nothing has changed. He just fights with the scientist and find out who is stronger. If no one interferes in their fight, and they will fight one against one, who do you think will win? In fact, the scientist is stronger, but the situation TV defeats him. Although a lot can change, but you write in the comments who you think will win. But Camera Titan is not doing so well. These one-eyed creatures do not want to get away from him. And again, from nowhere they appeared. I can assume that they are controlled by this character from the elite squad Skibidi, who has a gun in his hand for some reason. I wonder what he is going to do with it against a Titan. But okay, maybe he will fight with it against someone else, not a Titan. But as for me, a regular gun will not be effective even against an ordinary agent. Meanwhile, Camera Titan does well against these Skibidi, but they surround him again and create a difficult situation for him. Noticing a Speaker Titan, you'd think he'd go and help him. But seeing the black smoke, he changed direction and flew straight there. But his punch was nothing against the new character, who's 100 times better than the previously ostentatious Psycho Toilets, because just look at him. Well, he looks just awful. And the braces on his teeth are a pain in the ass. Speaker, seeing his friend underground, shouted happily, and the two of them very epically flew straight at this Psycho. By the way, this moment is a reference to Godzilla x Kong New Empire. But interestingly, this is not a reference, but a moment. In the movie, two characters fight against two, and we have 2 against 1. But this will not always be the case. The worst thing is that this character has the inscription 02. You can understand that there is at least one more character like him, which will be much stronger than this one. By the way, this character does not look weak, I would even say strong enough. But the moment pulls to the fact that soon there will be a character with the inscription 01, which will be a big problem for the Alliance, but when he will appear is still difficult to understand, although I will try to understand something and make a new video on this subject, because the topic is quite interesting. In the meantime, the scene changes, and we are back at the Photoman's house, but besides us, there is C-Pen, who got a strange signal a couple of episodes ago and left the battlefield to come here. It turned out that he got a signal that the Photoman has a person in his house, or rather how he perceives them, Skibidi Toilet. But he asked the Photoman why you didn't join the fight, and I hope you have a good reason for that. To which he probably replied that he wasn't ready yet, and he had something else to do. C-Pen said understood, supposedly went away from there. In fact, on the other side of the house was looking at the window from where the signal was received. By the way, as I said, in the house of the Photoman was the daughter of the commander, which is very cool. But even after he looked, he had doubts that there was someone here, so he broke the window like in the movies and almost crushed the poor child. But she decided to go outside for some reason, not somewhere in the house in a safe place, but on the street, so that she had a better chance of not surviving. Meanwhile, Photoman tried to save her and said that she is a normal child who will not interfere with them in any way, and that she is a human being and not a Skibidi. But C-Pen denied it, and said that if one of them survives, then one of us dies, and that he is a project to stop the other project. But he is still trying to help the girl and saying that it is just a simple child. She will not be of any use to us. But this psychopath, C-Pen, stands his ground and says that he will not ignore his mission for the sake of some girl. And for him, the mission is much more important. A little later, I will tell you more about this character, because I think he is not quite ordinary. A little later, you could think that the photographer managed to change his mind, because he started to say that maybe he is right, and he should change his mind at some point. However, later, he began to laugh very viciously and said to get the hell out of the way, blew him up and threw him out. But the girl was smart and managed to escape and hide, although C-Pen said that do not run. I do not like to pursue, not sparing anything in his way, smashed and tore just everything. But the good thing, his system gave an error and did not notice the girl who hid behind a rock. But the problem is that she is alone, and what can even do? I hope that still the Photoman is not dead and will be able to help her, although it is unlikely, but in my heart I believe in it. And what about a C-Pen? So it seems to me that it is controlled by someone else, and everything he does is at the will of another, because the description of the episode itself says about it in general, he is being watched, he is commanded by someone else. All this is written there for a reason. But who exactly controls remains a mystery. As I said earlier, Dom Studio is preparing us for a special event, which will be more important than all of them, although we do not know when it will happen. But soon I will make a new video in which I will share with you all the information that we will have. And that's all for today. Thank you all for watching. Like and subscribe. Bye-bye, everyone.